In this video, we're going to have the conclusion of the sparkling wine video that we did roughly 2 months ago. At that time, the results were kind of, well, let's just say lackluster. But that was the minimum 2-week waiting time to dry the wine, so we knew that we needed to give it more time. Well, the recommended time was 2 months. 2 months later, it's time. We did it 2 ways. One, we did it simply no sugar, just simply giving it the additional 2 months that it needed, hopefully. And 2, we added a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar in this one to see if maybe that might help the situation. In any event, hi, I'm Charles and welcome to DIY Fermentation, your site for doing fermentation on a shoestring budget. Now, these 2 bottles have been chilled beforehand because I think the last time we tried this, when the bottle wasn't chilled, I think a lot of the carbonation pretty much escaped the moment I opened up the bottle, which is probably why the results were kind of lackluster, as I said before. However, hopefully it will work this time. In case it's an overwhelming success, I'm prepared to clean up whatever mess that ensues. Now, this time it's going to be a very short video because we're just going to get right to it. Now, I think the one that we're going to start with is the one with no sugar. Basically, we just gave it the additional 2 months time it needed to go ahead and finish fermenting out with the additional sugar added to this one to give it an equal chance. There was a slight little pop of air. Very, very light, very fine bubbles, which are more or less dissipated right off the bat. I mean, they're still coming up slowly, but very small bubbles. Not so much a good sign there. Let's see what it tastes like since I've got it open. I would have to say there's really no change. That added to the fact that it's a bit on the dry side. There's virtually no sugar in it. Giving 2 additional months with no sugar, not really all that impressed. Now then, this one we added a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar just to see if more sugar was the problem. If nothing else, at least it will back sweeten it a bit. So let's give this one a try. Move this up. Let's see if we got any pressure. Yeah, there was a bit more pressure in there than the last one. It's an encouraging sign. Not really seeing any bubbles rising to the top, which is a discouraging sign, but let's see what we got here. Okay, I can see more bubbles. They're still on the very, very fine side. They're not dissipating as quickly. And they're still coming up from the bottom, so I guess that is an encouraging sign. Okay. Still coming up from the bottom. That's an encouraging sign. Let's see what we've got here. Well, it definitely is not champagne, okay? I put it to you that way. It still needs to be back sweetened. That's a given. And if you like it dry and you like it bubbly, you're okay. But I've made some apple wine inadvertently that ended up being sparkling. That tasted a whole lot sweeter than this. Let's try the original again. Well, what, in my opinion, has 2 additional months given both of these bottles of wine in terms of the difference? With no sugar added, giving it 2 additional months. I mean, once I wipe off the condensation, I'm not really seeing much in the way of effervescence in the bottle at all. Nope, not impressed. I don't think that one worked out at all. Now, the one where we added the additional sugar, yep, bubbles are there. Along with the additional sediment, they're getting additional sugar created as well, because you can see it on the bottom, that's for certain. And this one, not so much. I'll give this one another shot. Yep, bubbles are there. Very, very fine bubbles. Very, very light fizz on the tongue. Very light. If this were room temperature, there probably would be a more pronounced difference, but cold, I mean, you see the layer of bubbles right across the top where they're coming up to the surface and poof. But as an overall experiment, in my opinion, creating a sparkling wine, I don't think I've done it. Nope, I don't really call this a success. A couple of things. This is just off the top of my head. A couple of things. One, if you're going to try this, my suggestion would be to back sweeten it first. Get it to your liking. This ended up being a little bit better overall with the additional 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, which was not quite enough. Had I gone ahead and simply back sweetened the entire batch from the get-go before doing the experiment, then all of the additional sugar, a lot more of the additional sugar would have been in the wine, giving it a better chance to ferment and create the additional carbonation. But it is not that evident just by itself. So the no additional sugar, not happening. The 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, it's an improvement, but it's still dry. They're both still dry. Dry, not as dry. Not bone dry, but not as dry. So I think if I were to do this again, not on camera, but just simply playing around with it, I'm just simply going to back sweeten the wine to my liking. And then instead of pasteurizing, which is what I would normally do, just take a bottle or two and just simply bottle those and without pasteurizing them, just to see what would happen. So yeah, it looks like there's going to be a part 3 to this. There will be a part 3 to this if I achieve success, okay? If I don't achieve success, there won't be a part 3. But so far, that's what I've got with the experiment, the way that I've done it so far. You gotta back sweeten it. Unless you like your wine dry, you gotta back sweeten it. And if you do like your wine dry, I'm not really seeing a whole lot in the way of carbonation with this particular technique. It just doesn't seem to work, as I thought it would. I'm just saying. All right, well, again, short video. I'm gonna leave it at that. I am gonna try it with, I've already pasteurized that one. I've got 3 more that I need to bottle. 3 more gallon batches that I need to bottle. So I'll take one of those when I back sweeten it, just simply put the 2 aside. And if it works out with one of the 2, then I'll have another video, a 3rd video, showing you how much of a success that one was simply by back sweetening it properly. So again, if you like what you see here, although I don't know if you like this one as much, click on the subscribe and notify buttons, and better yet, become a member to help support this channel. And I'll see you in the next video.